Hi everybody, this is Agla with ADP Writer, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about a roadbook navigation. So this video is going to be very simple, very basic. If you've done a roadbook navigation rally already, then that's probably not for you, because you know the basics already. It's more for somebody who's maybe thinking of doing their first roadbook navigation rally, and maybe you're not feeling too sure about the whole roadbook thing. You're not entirely sure how it works exactly. So when I was preparing for my first rally ever in Portugal, I was absolutely terrified, and I thought, wow, it looks pretty complicated, and I just wasn't sure whether I'd be able to figure out roadbook. But it turns out it's not that horrible. It's not really all that complicated at all. So I just wanted to do a very sort of, again, very simple, very basic explainer video on how roadbook navigation works. So let's get started. Alright, so first things first, this is your roadbook holder and your trip master right here. This is a pretty basic setup, but that should make it real easy to kind of figure it out. So this is your roadbook scroll. This is going to go in there into your roadbook holder. And then this ICO trip master is basically going to tell you your distance. So I'm going to walk you through the whole thing from understanding roadbook to marking it, to putting it into the roadbook holder, and then how the whole thing looks in real life when you're writing and when you're trying to figure out where you are and when you're going next. So this is your roadbook. This one is from Hellas Rally, and the way it works basically is once you put it into your roadbook holder, you're gonna scroll it like this, okay? And this is how you're gonna navigate. So what all of this means. So you basically have these three columns here, right? So this one tells you your distance, and these numbers are going to correspond with your ICO. I'll show you in a minute. This is your direction. And again, this is a very basic explanation. There's a little more to it, but I'm just going to stick to the very basics. So your distance, this is your direction right here, and this is additional information. Normally, this section tells you when you gotta get off the main track or main road, speed limits, danger, stuff like that. So this is just extra information. The way it works is pretty much this. So there are different ways to mark your roadbook. I'm just gonna use a very simple method. Because I'm not a fast writer, so I would spot, if there's like a danger point or whatever, I would spot that from pretty far away anyway. So all I did with my roadbooks was I just marked changes in direction. And so why do you have to mark it in the first place? Well, when you're writing, right, so you have a lot to take in. You have to look where you're going. And you have to do your writing, and then this is moving, right? And this is all black and white. So you want things that are important to really stand out. And, you've probably seen people marking their roadbooks in a bunch of different colors. I've only got yellow, so it's going to have to do. And the way I did it was super simple, but again, that's because I'm a slow writer. If you're a fast writer, then you might want to mark it differently to help yourself as much as possible. All I did was I ignored everything where the direction didn't change, so I would not mark this. I would not mark this. I would not mark this. Generally, you should be paying attention because these are like little dips in the road. And there's an exclamation mark, so that means that might be slippery or somehow dangerous. So technically, yes, this is what you should be paying attention to. But again, because I'm quite slow, I just wanted to note the changes in direction. So the way this works, so again, you're scrolling this, and you're watching your distance on your ICO. And now once it gets to 0.82, you're going to come at a little junction, right? To help you out, this is like a little sign. So if you're not entirely sure whether that's the right one, look for this. And you are going to be turning left here, okay? So I'm gonna mark this. I confess I do not know what all of this means. You should totally know that. You can look it up. I'm sure there's there must be online resources to learn all of these symbols and what everything means. I only know a few basic things. So like QTPP means quit the main track or the main road. This is all French. So yeah, you should totally learn this. And I confess I didn't, but it wasn't that big of a deal, to be honest, because again, I wasn't going all that fast. Okay, so you've marked your first change of direction, and then in 4 kilometers, right? At 4 kilometers and 55 meters, you are turning left again, okay? And again, to help you out, there's going to be a sign here, signpost, and there's going to be a little house, so that's a lot of extra information to help you out. Plus it says quit the main road, right? So this is going to be your main route, and you're going to quit it, and you're not taking this left, you're taking this one, right? So that just tells you quite a lot. Then the next one is kilometer 6 right here. Again, change of direction, so I'm going to mark that. And again, they're helping you out. The organizers are helping you because there's a little sign right here. So when you come to this junction, you double check, okay, there's a signpost, I'm turning right, good stuff. And that's pretty much it. And you just go all the way through, right? You mark what you want to mark, what you want to pay attention to. Again, in my case, just changes in direction. And I also marked this so that it's just easier to spot once it's moving. And that's it. And you go through all your road book, and then you roll it back onto this side. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And then once you're riding, you're going to be reading your distance, your direction, and your extra information. And so now I'm going to show you what that looks like when you're putting it into the roadbook holder, and then what happens when you are riding. Okay, so this is your roadbook holder, and that's your roadbook scroll. So you have gone through all of it, you've marked it, and you're now at the very end of it. And you're going to have to secure it into the roadbook holder and then scroll it all the way back so that you're back at the beginning, right? And you can navigate using it. So what you got to do is, using a little bit of tape, you just stick this end bit in there, and just with a few strips of packing tape or duct tape or whatever you have, you just secure it in place like this, so that it's secure, and then you're gonna start scrolling it all the way in. Just make sure that it's straight so that it doesn't rip. So you scroll it in manually, the whole thing. This is gonna take a while, so I'm probably just gonna fast forward, and yeah, just make sure that it's straight, because if it rips, as you're riding along, you're gonna have to stop and repair it, and you're gonna lose time. So you want to make sure that it's straight, and then it's gonna hold. It's always good to have a little bit of packing tape with you, just in case it tears and you need to repair it. Alright, so now you've scrolled it all in, so you're back at the beginning. Now you gotta glue this to this, right, so that it sticks. Don't know if you can see that. Basically just some more tape. I'm a bit clumsy with this stuff, but okay, and that's it. Now you scroll it to the beginning, and that's it. This is your start line. So as you go along, you will have to keep scrolling the roadbook using this switch here. I'll show you in a minute. And this is pretty much it. This is your road map now. So put the cover on. Shit. I'm just gonna turn the bike on so it doesn't drain the battery and show you how the whole thing works. Okay. Alright. So this is your ICO. So I'm gonna so these are the ICO switches, okay? So we've got, you can choose your speed, time, or your kilometers. So you just hold it and you reset it to 0, 0, 0, right? This switch, it's supposed to be like right about here, but you know, just have too much stuff on my handlebar, so I couldn't do that. So using this, you're scrolling your roadbook as you're going along, right? You can scroll it forward a little bit if you want to see what's coming next. If you miss something, you scroll it back. Like this. And again, this tells you your distance. So at 0, 0, 0, 0, you are turning right. And then at 0, 8, you turn right again, and so on and so forth. So this tells you your distance, which corresponds to this distance here. This is your change of direction, and this is extra information for the route. This is a GPS tracker from the organizers. If you go down, this flashes, and then you either, if you're okay, you press OK. If you need help, you press this, and they can get you. So that is pretty awesome. Yeah, I think this is about it. And sometimes it just so happens that this does not exactly match this. So for example, you will come at this junction, but this will say 006 instead of 008. But if you're sure that you are at this junction, you simply adjust this, right? And you add 8. So then it matches perfectly. And then as you go along, it will help you, because if it's off, it just adds up. And before you know it, you can get lost. It's very important to always try and match this with this. What else? That's it really. Have some extra packing tape just in case it drips or you need to add something in. And other than that, this is it. You're good to go. Alright, so now I am just about approaching the 270 mark. I'm at 267 now. So I gotta look for that left fork, and there it is. Right, so you see this fork here is this, and I gotta turn left. Of course, I'm not supposed to be stopping. You're supposed to be doing this while riding, but I can explain and ride at the same time. So I'm just gonna adjust it so it matches perfectly. And I'm going left. I'm adjusting this, so I don't need this anymore because this is here. And my next one is a 284 right turn uphill. So it's not all that complicated at all. Alright, so now I've got a T-junction thing coming up at 74. Again, I wouldn't stop normally, but just to make it super obvious. So this is, right, that thing. I gotta turn left. It says 74, so I'm gonna adjust this tiny bit. And then I don't need all of this stuff. So my next thing is at 721. That's it.
Alright, so I think this pretty much covers it. I hope that made sense, and I hope this is going to help you and figure out your own roadbook navigation, and hopefully go and try your first rally.